might think that getting into the IT field is impossible without a computer science degree, but Tech Coach Ralph is here to prove you wrong. Get ready for some jaw-dropping revelations on how to break into this lucrative industry. Listen up, tech enthusiasts! Are you ready to break through into the IT field, but feel like you need a computer science degree to make it happen? Think again! Tech Coach Ralph has some exclusive, mind-blowing secrets to share with you. Get ready to be blown away by his jaw-dropping revelations on how to break into the tech industry without a computer science degree. So get your notepad ready, because Tech Coach Ralph is going to change your life forever. Buckle up, because you're about to embark on a journey to success in the IT field.
Welcome back to another episode of Koffee and Kata, hosted by yours truly, Tech Coach Ralph. Today is Wednesday, January 17th, 2024. We are in week 3 of January of the year of 2024. So we are moving forward. We're making it happen. As I said, I am Tech Coach Ralph. We are engineered to win. I don't think I'm properly centered. Give me a second here. Let's go. Okay, there we go. Centered. Okay, perfect. I get all out of whack when when it's not balanced, so I have to be, there you go. That's a lot better. Perfect. Okay, cool. So, like I said, this is the Koffee and Kata show. We had a crazy cybersecurity Q&A last night. We were going over SOX University. SOX was showing us around. We are looking for some beta testers. So if you are interested in becoming a beta tester, in the chat it should be circulating the how to do that. Pretty much you need to email sox@ephemeralnetworks.com. and you put in beta tester or beta user in the subject line with your YouTube handle so we can know where you're coming from, and drop me a message in the chat so I can know that you're interested, so I can tell them to look out for your email, and we will get that moving. So in the next 2 weeks, we'll be setting up the beta testers. You'll get access for 30 days. So you can, you can, it's the real course, the first level course. You can take that, get familiar with cybersecurity, and you can help us out giving us some feedback on, if you ran into any issues, any bugs, and we can get that sorted out. So when we have our official launch, you will be a contributing member, and with that, we want to give you 30 days access, so you can level up as well as help us make sure we get everything under control. So thank you for that. So definitely, if you're interested, go ahead and email sox@ephemeralnetworks.com. The link will be in the chat, as well as I will post it into the description as well. All right. So that being said, let's get started on our show. On our show today, we are going to get started with our news segment. So, and by the way, we have our part 3 of our comparison between Selenium, Cypress, and Playwright, coming out today at noon Eastern time. Is going to be talking about parallel testing, very important, being more efficient in our testing efforts. So definitely look out for that. It's already scheduled to premiere, so if you see it, go ahead and click the notify me button so you can be notified when it premieres, and you can tune in for that. So much great information. And then tomorrow night we are going to be going live with continuing to work on free mind recovery testing. So much to learn from that as a QA engineer, as well as a software engineer. I'll be giving, and front end, especially front end, because right now we're focusing on the front end. So giving feedback on how to make the development better so it can be a more testable site. So you definitely want to tune in for that, whatever role that you play. It is going to be such valuable information. If you didn't see the one where we started, the stream where we started on this last week, Thursday, I definitely recommend you check that out. And it's like, you're going to learn about Playwright, you're going to learn about Selenium, you're going to learn about Cypress, you're going to learn about how to properly structure your web development, your engineering, so that it can be testable. We're going to be talking about unit testing as well, so that you can, before we get into the news, right? Because I'll probably do a whole separate maybe video or segment on a show maybe tomorrow night. I don't know, but I hear a lot of times developers, they want to go fast. They're not familiar with testing, so they either do like manual testing, and developers doing manual testing is the worst idea ever. But especially when there's no QA around to help guide them. But at the same time, there's not many people who would like at an entry level know how to direct QA in the first place. So I want to stress the importance of number one, unit testing, making sure that like you don't put that on the back burner, because you will crash. Like without unit test, you will crash. But unit test is only a small part of it. It's also like how you come up with unit tests, how you structure them, and then even if you don't have like official QA, you still need to have some type of testing for your application, for like for the integration testing and stuff like that. Trying to do it all manually is going to be a recipe for disaster. So I'm going to try to give maybe tomorrow night, give some additional tips and tricks on that to get that set up, because you don't want to get so far into the project and then now it's impossible to update anything and you have to scrap the whole thing, right? So just throwing that out there from just some different places that I've been, different things that I've heard from experience about like product owners saying like we don't need to do unit tests now because we want to go fast. Really, like when you try to go that fast, it's inevitable. It's inevitable that you're going to get into a crash, and then you're going to be running down the track thinking that you're on fire like Ricky Bobby, and we do not want that to happen. We don't want Cal to come and put out the invisible fire for his best friend. All right, so let's keep that in mind. Let's always keep testing at the forefront of our mind. Like without good testing, you will never have good development. So just putting it out there. All right. With that being said, let's jump into our news stories. And let me do this real quick before we do that. We are going to okay, perfect. All right, let's get into it. Put our timer up. Let's switch over. And let's put our 5 minutes on the clock. All right, so our first story is CNET is up for sale, according to Axios, right? So CNET owner Red Ventures is exploring a sale of the technology news and reviews site Axios reports, citing anonymous sources. The digital media company is seeking at least $250 million. Yes, for CNET, which acquired it in 2020 along with smaller sites then owned by Viacom for $500 million. Money. The talks are still informal, and some potential buyers are wary of the flack CNET drew last year for the undisclosed use of artificial intelligence to create articles, according to Axios. Red Ventures is also contending with ad sales and traffic slumps along with high interest rates. The company has already offloaded several sites from the CNET deal, despite a strong reputation for being able to successfully integrate its acquisitions, per Axios. So let's keep an eye out on that. They're looking to sell CNET. How does the saying go? I'm in a bind, Nate. It is what it is. All right, so keep that in mind. So we'll keep an eye on this to see if that still ends up happening, and we'll go from there. All right. So the next one that we're going to. So Tesla enters Tesla territory. Or Stellantis. Sorry. My bad. Stellantis enters Tesla's territory. So Stellantis used to be Chrysler, but then it got bought out by Stellantis. So here we are. All right. Stellantis is the latest beneficiary of a series of recent price cuts at Tesla. The automaker behind Chrysler, Jeep, and Dodge has been tapped to provide 250,000 vehicles to Sixt after Europe's largest car rental operator said in December it was dropping Tesla from its fleet. Hertz echoed the move by Six, announcing this month it will unload one third of its electric cars. Both car rental companies cited declining resale values and high repair costs for Teslas and other EVs, showing that the automakers' bet on lower prices to drive consumer demand may have cost its institutional customers. So, real quick about that, right? Um, I don't know if rental car companies getting EVs was the best move because the percentage of people who own EVs is already low, right? I mean, it's growing, of course, but it's low. So now, when you have people who are used to, regular cars, gas cars, maybe hybrid cars, if I mean, even hybrids are low, right? And now they go to get an electric car as a rental. They don't know how to operate it properly, and they might not be aware of the charging requirements or where to even get charging, right? So it becomes a liability, and as well, I think that EVs. I could be wrong on this, but I think that EVs are like more delicate than regular gas cars. So, and we know the way that people treat rental cars. So I can only imagine like the wear and tear they will put on Teslas and other EVs. So I could kind of see why the rental companies are pulling out on EVs because of the the declining resale values, and it is expensive to fix EVs, especially like if the battery gets messed up and stuff like that. That's a huge cost. So it's interesting. I don't know why the title says that. Oh, okay. It says it enters their territory because the rental companies are pulling out of Tesla. So now that gives space to Stellantis and other car manufacturers to jump in. All right. So there we go. That was interesting. All right. So MBAs, right? So Masters in Business Administration, is that what MBA stands for? Who knows? All right. So looks MBAs look for work in tough market. All right. So also it depends on what the MBA is actually in, but many of last year's MBA graduates are having a hard time finding jobs amid recent white collar layoffs, writes the Wall Street Journal. The grads hit the market right as the consulting, tech, and finance sectors cut back on hiring last summer. Even though with MBAs from some of the country's some of the country's best business schools, including Harvard, Stanford, and Massachusetts Institute of Technology (MIT), had difficulty landing jobs 3 months after graduating. The number of frustrated job seekers essentially doubled from 2022, according to the data from the schools. So I'll just say this, right? Imagine if they're having a tough time. What about all these boot camp graduates who don't have any formal training or experience or anything like that? We'll just leave that right there. For those who have found jobs, the MBA is paying off, notes the journal. Median salaries for Stanford graduates rose to $182,000, up from $175,000 in 2022, and that doesn't include bonuses. Um, if you have the MBA, depending on the type of job that you get, where you get it, it might be pretty lucrative. But at the same time, you might be one of the needles in the haystack, according to this article. So, got to keep that in mind as well. Like I always tell you, you need to have an approach, a game plan in everything that you do. So, and one of the things that I do want to talk about in the future is like how we are failed in our early days by the people ahead of us, or you know, the people who are supposed to be guiding us. They just don't know sometimes, or they're just incompetent. And now we have to figure it out for ourselves. So. One of the things I'm also curious about, like for the people who can't get jobs and the people who do get these jobs, how much student loan debt are they in? Did it cost them anything? So that's always a curiosity of mine. Like are we making like when we quote unquote invest in ourselves, how are those investments going? Like and are we properly thinking about them? All right. And let's move on to our very last one. Adidas CEO to workers. Holla at your boy. Call me. All right. So Adidas CEO, Jorn Golden. wanted to improve communications with employees after a run of financial and morale troubles, writes the Wall Street Journal. So he shared his cell phone number with all 60,000 of them. As Drake said, you used to call me on my cell phone. Adidas lost almost $750 million. Yes, $750 million in 2022. In 2022's final quarter. So okay, I thought it was in the year of 2022, but it's the final quarter that they lost $750 million. Jesus Christ. That is, oh my goodness. All right. Partly because of its breakup with the rapper Kanye West, or as we know him as Ye. Golden decided to change a culture of finding reasons not to do things. A year in the company is headed for profitability, he said, and shares have roughly doubled. Golden received about 200 calls weekly from workers, he said, many imploring him to reform the company. Not everyone is enamored of his style of management, he acknowledged, or of his management style, he acknowledged. Several executives have left the company, including the head of sales and branding, the head of digital, and the president of Adidas North America. We're not having it, all right? Meanwhile, Adidas' primary competitor, Nike, is experiencing disruption, cutting almost $2 billion in costs and planning layoffs. Nike also recently had a breakup of its own with golf legend Tiger Woods. All right, so those are our news stories for today. And there were some other stories as well that I didn't choose from, but I'll just give you a quick rundown of the headlines. We had the JetBlue Spirit deal is halted. The Barstool Sports CEO steps down. Costco cracks down on cars. Come on, Costco, would you? So selfish. All right. I should have went into that one because that's messed up. SCOTUS won't hear Apple versus Epic. Morgan Stanley, Goldman profits dip. And the Fed say no more to funny road signs. And lastly, global debt concerns take WEF stage, World Economic Forum stage. All right. So those are the other headlines that we didn't get into. So if you're interested, you can go check out any of those articles. I definitely want to check out this Costco one. Let's check out this Costco one real quick because that one I don't shop at Costco anymore, but that kind of annoys me. So it says, Costco cracks down on card sharing. First Netflix, now Costco. Indeed, the Warehouse Club appears to be taking a cue from streamers and cracking down on membership sharing. After recently requiring customers to show photo IDs even in self-checkout lanes, the retail giant is testing another way to ensure its discounts remain available only to members and escorted guests. To enter a new Costco store in Washington State, customers must scan their membership card rather than flash it upon entry. The change is expected to speed up the entry and checkout processes. And in addition to protecting Costco's membership model, an executive says the renewal rate for Costco membership was up 93% in 2022. The company says losses in membership revenue could prompt an increase in prices. Rival wholesale Sam's Club is no longer checking receipts at the door. The Walmart-owned company has turned to artificial intelligence to scan carts instead. So there goes Walmart with their innovation. So what did Costco say? They said,
one more thing. Price of the brick going up.
the price of the brick is going up. It is what it is. The brick is inflation and the price is going up. All right. So let's get to it. All right. Let me open up my pie chart. And I have the challenge here. Okay, so let me move this to the other screen. And we'll throw up a 20 minutes on the clock for today, get our mind flowing. I'm going to cut down a little bit on the news stories, but maybe I'll pick 2 news stories so we don't spend, because we want to spend more time challenging ourselves in the coding instead of more time on the news. So we will cut down on the news time, and maybe sometimes I won't even do the news. We'll just have a little bit of a conversation because there are some things I want to talk to you about early in the morning to get your mind in the right spot. So we will figure that out as we go along. All right. Maybe Fridays, maybe Mondays. We'll figure that out. Right. So let's put our 20 minutes up on the clock. And where did we leave off? So last time we actually implemented the some AI test, right? So let's go to here. All right. So we had some questions. So it couldn't answer who the current president was. I don't know if a higher GPT model would be able to, but it's all good. We can say who was the 45th president of the United States, and that would be so let's see if we so let's try to run this, right? Let's see what happens. So here we just have to do behave, and we should be able to let's see what we get. Do we have to do this API key every single time? Hold on. I'm gonna just export it. Okay. Now let's try that. Actually, it might not even work here. Let me see. Actually, if I go to maybe if I do this. The API key must be set. All right. Give me a second. Let's try it again. All right, there we go. Or no, not yet. So got to AI, and let's see. All right, there we go. I have to have this API key permanently set. All right, so let's see. Where did we fail? So you see how so you see how some of the complexities that we have with this, right? So it's giving me the direct answer is 10. Two scenarios passed, one failed. So I'm guessing the one for so Elon Musk passed. And Donald J. Trump passed. See, but the thing is, we like, and we can circle back to this, but we do want our answers to be like a little bit more flexible. So we're probably going to need to implement some and natural language processing in this, so that it can see like what so I'm gonna say in the model here, I'm going to say we need to I'm going to say that we just need maybe direct answer is not the best way to put it, but we just need a short answer maybe. Let's try that one more time. See what we get. Okay, so so two failed this time. Which two failed? Ah, you see, so and that's why we're going to need to implement some type of natural language processing. This one was good, and actual response. See, like with the period and stuff like that. So we definitely need to clean this up, but we won't harp on that because maybe we like what I'm planning on doing is say, okay, maybe we can implement some type of natural language processing that takes what our expected result is and compare it to we need to have some type of comparison to like have a close match instead of like this exact match that we're looking for. So we will look into those type of validations. But let's take a look at the challenge though to see what else that we have to do in there. Okay. So let's go over here. And now let me zoom in a bit on this. So diverse input scenarios. Develop tests that generate a wide variety of prompts to examine how well AI handles diverse input scenarios. Then we have long conversations. Design a test that simulates a prolonged interaction with AI, ensuring AI maintains context over a series of prompts. So, so in the diverse input scenarios, let's think about that, right? So, develop a test that generates a wide variety of prompts to examine how well the API handles diverse inputs. So, we would say some diverse inputs. So, let's say we ask about who's the CEO of Tesla, right? And then we say we do some math problems, right? And then we ask a scientific question, right? And then we ask to develop some code, right? Now the question is, how do we check the like what is it that we're checking for to make sure that it's able to handle it? Is it just that the answers that we're getting back is sufficient? So I think a good part of this that we need to think about is because we can definitely generate we can do like the inputs, but it's like, okay, how do we validate the outputs, right? So what we can do in order to further our testing is we can start creating the scenarios, right? And then once it comes to the validation part, because we can write the code to ask the questions and stuff, then we do have to talk to our developers to see like, okay, what is the expected output that we're supposed to get so that we can generate some test data. uh, like it's not always up to QA to generate the test data because we need to know what type of test data that we should be looking for as well. So that's going to be, and I think that applies to the diverse input scenarios as well as the long conversations. So that is definitely something for us to look into as well. And there's some more stuff, but so let's figure out. Let's go with the diverse input scenarios, right? And what I'm gonna do is let's go to here, and we're going to say in our so remember when we're doing like cucumber or behave inside of inside the project there's going to be a features folder, right? And inside the features folder we're going to have our feature files and we're going to have our step files that have our steps definition. Okay, so I'm on this screen. So like we have our features file which has our feature our features folder which has our feature files in there, and then we have our steps folder which is inside the features file and it has our step definitions in there, right? So this is our step definitions. I can close that for now. And this is this is our task specific accuracy feature file. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna push this code up so that you can have a copy of it to see like how I'm doing this, and you can learn from that as well. Especially if you're interested in using BDD, Python, all of that. So all right, what we're gonna do, we're going to create a new file. We're going to call that one diverse inputs dot feature. I'm gonna add that. And now we are going to start off the way that we started off over here. So feature, we're gonna name that diverse inputs. And we're gonna say scenario. And then we can do a scenario outline for this. And we're going to say we want that to be examine how well the API handles diverse input scenarios, right? And we're gonna go here. We're gonna say when when a prompt is sent to the OpenAI API. So and what we can do as well, because we can reuse this, right? Um, so let's say given have a prompt. So we're gonna copy. Actually, it's actually the same test, right? It's actually the same test. So we can copy this, right? Because the only thing that's going to be different now is the questions that you're asking. Right. So let's think about some questions that we can use in this scenario that would give me 1 second to check something out. Mm, Drop this in the chat as well. I noticed it wasn't being circulated in the chat, so I just want to drop it in there in case we do have anyone interested in becoming a beta user. Oh, it was too long. Let me get this working. All right, there we go. Drop that in the chat. There we go. All right, cool. So yeah, so like I said, we're looking for beta users for Sox University. So I just dropped it in the chat. So if you're interested, go ahead and email socks@ephemeralnetworks.com so we can get you set up. All right. Okay, so let's keep going. So we have the same thing. So now, and it's pretty much the same exact test, right? One of the things that I may be hesitant to use BDD and stuff is like I also like so I like the fact that we can reuse the steps and stuff like that, but I wish there was more I can do around the feature files. But I do understand that the feature files are meant to be easy, so it's very readable and anyone can use. But from like a QA background and engineering background, um, I there's some things that I would like to make it more efficient, but at the same time. So let's go to here. We can just copy this actually. So and we're just going to say, all right, so if we say, so let's think about some different prompts that we can send, right? That are very diverse. So, um, what is the largest populated country in the world, right? Um, and then let's say, what is 100 divided by 5? It should be 20, right? And what is I'm gonna guess India on this. But if we're wrong, then we'll know, right? So now let's go to let's ask a programming question. Um, how do you write, or let's say, can I have some, or can you set up an automated test in Java and Selenium with Java for me, right? And let's do another question. On which date was Abraham Lincoln assassinated? Is that right? I don't think I spelled that right. Yes, that is right. All right. So, I don't know the date of this, so I'm just going to put some random date, July 20th, 20 or 20, 1868. I don't know. Just making up some random date over here. I decided to spell this wrong. Okay, cool. I think that's let's see one more. What parts make up a cell? And we will say I really don't remember this, but let's say electron, neutron, proton. Maybe that's a molecule. I don't know. I could be wrong. I'll change that to molecule. I was not the greatest in science growing up. All right, so if we have this, and we're gonna do right because we don't want to run everything. We just want to run this one. So we're gonna throw on the work in progress tag. We're gonna say behave dash W for the work in progress tag, and we're going to run that. Make sure it's not on this one. Cool. And now I should run through all of these, and it should it should be using the, and that's what it should be using the steps that are in the that are from the task specific accuracy. We might have to rename it because you don't want to duplicate the same steps anyways. So let's give that a run. And we have a failure. Oh, so the answer is China. But what about the other steps in the scenario? So let's I didn't think it would stop after.
Lunch break. Lunch break.
Let's do this. I'm going to just do, instead of the W tag, I'm going to do the N tag, and I'm going to pass the name of the scenario. Or we can just do, instead of that, we can do features, and then we can do diverse input, right? So let's see what this does. All right, so with the work in progress tag, it only ran the first one, but with the passing the feature file, it ran everything, but they all failed. But let's see what some of the responses that we got were. So, so it was a molecule, but the answer, so no, the answer is atoms. So maybe it was a cell. We'll mix up a cell. I don't know. All right, so we got that one, and then the date that he was assassinated was April 14th. Oh, one day before my birthday, 1865. So there we go. And then, no, I cannot set up automated tests in Selenium with Java for use. Thanks a lot. And then the answer is 20. So, and that's where we need that natural language processing to be able to break it apart. And the answer is China, not India. So we do have our diverse inputs. We do need to, maybe that Selenium one. I mean, it should be able to set up something for you, but we'll see. We'll see how it goes. But yeah, I think that we are in a good spot right now. And when we come back next week, we will do the next part, which is going to be the what is the next part? Where's my mouse? The next part is going to be the long conversation. So keeping the context, all right? So, and then once we're done with like that part of the test, then we'll have to go back and revamp our answers, see if we can add some natural language processing so that we can get a better answer, right? So that is it for today. Hopefully that you found this helpful and informative. Trying to push you more towards different testing strategies. And I like AI a lot. So getting to work with the API, learning that and everything like that, it is very helpful. So let me know what you think. Right? Drop me a comment. Drop me a comment if you watch this on the replay. Let me know if you find these helpful. If I find it super helpful because it helps me get ready for my work day. Once I get to work, I'm ready to hit the ground running. It wakes up my mind. So hopefully I can help you do the same. But with that being said, thank you for watching today. If you haven't done so yet, like the video, share the video, subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell so you can know when we go live. Like I said earlier, we are going to be, we have the video being released at noon talking about parallel testing in Cypress, Selenium, and Playwright. And then tomorrow night, we're going to go live to continue doing automation work on the free mind recovery site by Calculus Coder. So tune in. So something for everyone, having a great time. So I want to wish everyone who tuned in and everyone who's watching this on replay to have a wonderful, wonderful Wednesday. We are halfway through the week, so let's make the most of it. We do not get tired. We do not relinquish. We keep pushing forward. I was I had a 3-hour live stream yesterday, and I am back with you in the morning. So let's just keep going. There is no rest. There is no relaxing. We keep our foot on the gas because as soon as we start to let off, that's when they start to catch up to us, and that's when they want to take our position. So we're going to keep going. We are going to win. We are engineered to win. All right. So with that being said, like I said earlier, have a wonderful, wonderful day. Take care of yourselves, and I will see you guys tomorrow.
You might think that getting into the IT field is impossible without a computer science degree, but Tech Coach Ralph is here to prove you wrong. Get ready for some jaw-dropping revelations on how to break into this lucrative industry. Listen up, tech enthusiasts! Are you ready to break through into the IT field, but feel like you need a computer science degree to make it happen? Think again! Tech Coach Ralph has some exclusive, mind-blowing secrets to share with you. Get ready to be blown away by his jaw-dropping revelations on how to break into the tech industry without a computer science degree. So get your notepad ready, because Tech Coach Ralph is going to change your life forever. Buckle up, because you're about to embark on a journey to success in the IT field.